listening to Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by. On the morning shift.
Anything
could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. Glad to be here with you. Thankful that you're here with us. We're live on CKLU 96.7 FM on the radio. We're streaming live at cklu.ca. On the internet, you can just click on the Radio Player Canada app on our website and stream us. You can also download it and take us with you and listen to us anywhere, anytime on your favorite device. We're also streaming live at facebook.com/Sudbury News, youtube.com/Sudbury News. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow all of the social medias. And we're also on other social media as well, Twitter and Instagram and things like that. The videos, if you're not on live, they'll also be after. You can watch afterwards on YouTube, Facebook, and I put them up on Twitter. You can also find them at sudbury.news. Your local news aggregator, our service to the community to put all local news in one convenient location now that it's a little bit harder to find, that Facebook is not allowing the sharing of any kind of news. It's a way to just have one-stop shop for all your local news and other news as well. And that's where you can find the show. You just click on Sudbury News Talk on one of the tabs and you could watch the show after it's live. So thanks for that. We got some weather. The Wolves, they won last night, so we'll talk a little bit about that. We have Nick Gervais joining us, talk a little bit about some local headlines, and then a little deep dive into maybe what Nick has missed out on some of our conversations and maybe have her chime in on some of those things. So without further ado, we started off a little bit late this morning. That's just me. I'm running a bit late. I got lots to do today to prepare for. And so let's dive right in. Stay with us. We look forward to weather, the sports, some news, your comments, and much more when we come back. Yeah, let's try that again. It's definitely one of those mornings. There's no doubt about it. Technology is not so little things on all my devices. Actually, this morning happening, I clicked all the right things there, but it just didn't work. Anyways, it's -2 out there. It feels like -7. It's mostly cloudy today. We can expect a mix of sun and cloud, mild wind, high of +4. +4, yeah. We are February the 8th, and it's +4 is the high today. The wind chill will feel like -6 this morning, however. Tonight, partly cloudy, becoming cloudy near midnight, then periods of rain. Low of +1. Friday, periods of rain ending in the afternoon. So I'm wondering, how slippery it was yesterday morning. Crazy out there. Hopefully there's not more of that with the, temperatures where they're at and the rain. But anyways, there'll be some rain ending in the afternoon tomorrow. Then it's cloudy with a 40% chance of showers. High of +5 and the low of 1. And look at your long range. High of 5, periods of rain tomorrow. Chance of flurries or rain, 60% on Saturday. Sunday, -4, 30% chance of flurries. Also, same thing for Monday. And 30% chance of flurries as well for Tuesday, high of -6, and then -7 on Valentine's Day, which is Wednesday, and mix of sun and cloud. So that's a look at your long range and your satellite. You can see some of the precipitation currently over Sudbury, and then you can see some of that predicted precipitation coming over Wisconsin into the Upper Peninsula towards us and up around Thunder Bay as well all coming from the west. That's your Sudbury weather, brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. We'll be back with a little bit of a sports update. And Nick Gervais, your comments, news, and much more when we come back. Okay, yes. So we have our special guest here today, guest host, Nick Gervais. And with that, good morning, Nick. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing good. I got a new background. I renovated my basement and I have this really awesome sign that says you belong here. But if I turn it on, all you see is a blob of pink.
Oh, in the camera.
Yeah. So I don't
Try
know if
it,
it's
though.
because my computer has low
Res. Camera.
but I need to get a dimmer, and it looks like I need to fix the lighting too.
You should turn it on, though. Are you able to just turn it on, see what it looks like? So demonstrate. Oh,
there's the blob.
You know what? I can almost read it. It's actually not too bad.
All right.
It says you here.
Yeah, exactly.
But still, it's
better than nothing.
It still looks cool. Anyways, it's got that pink haze and it gives a nice atmosphere there.
Yeah.
And maybe if you get a better camera eventually or whatever, it'll.
Well, it looks like I could get a dimmer, and I plug it into a dimmer, and then I could lower it. So I purchased this on Amazon. I'm gonna see, and we'll check it out. But I do want to get a better lighting because this is. Oh, as soon as I look at my hand, it's funny. Light is just so interesting.
Yeah, light is interesting for sure.
Yeah.
One of those.
It changes the color of a lot of things. It's
sure.
Yeah.
You know, in movies and stuff, you think, there's an intimate scene of a couple people in a restaurant, but if you pan back to what's going on in terms of what gear they have and how many people are there, and you look at the credits of a movie at the end, how many people it takes and how much technology just to make something simple. Like I look a little yellow here because the lighting, I got a little bit of a yellow thing. I don't have professional lighting as you don't there. And I could probably do something to enhance it, but it is what it is. And we are, it's the budget.
Volunteers.
So it's not like, but it looks good. I think it looks really good. So we got a lot of people joining us here. We want to just let everyone know the Sudbury Wolves won their game against the Western division leading Sioux Greyhounds last night. They are at the top of the heap. They're a powerful team. So it shows a little bit of Sudbury's grit and Sudbury's determination. They won 6-5 in regulation time. And it was a nail biter, went back and forth. They were just sharing goals. But ultimately, that's the way you win games. The Sudbury Wolves did it last night. They're in action again this Friday night at the Sudbury Arena against the Niagara Ice Dogs. Again, they just squeaked by Niagara, which are bottom feeders in their division and in the league. However, they've been playing good as of late. They beat the North Bay Battalion, which are the Sudbury Wolves rivals. Wow. Yeah, the Ice Dogs did just recently. And so it shows the Ice Dogs they're doing something lately that's giving really good teams a hard time. So it'll be a good game on Friday night. So make sure to get out and watch that. It's always a great night and it doesn't cost too much and it's family friendly and all that great stuff. So, we just want to check in here on YouTube. So Evelyn's joining us on YouTube. Good morning for Mark's Day. And reported that there was a blast yesterday, basically like a little bit of an earthquake. Didn't miss much so far. We're just getting started. So you're going to see everything and hear everything. Good morning, Judy. First to the Facebook party. Debbie, good morning. Smiley emoji. Morning, Vin. Thanks for being with us. Monique, good morning, Sudbury. Smiley emoji again. And good morning, everyone from Denise. Thank you for being with us. Belinda, always a positive statement in the morning. Good morning. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. I wish you all the best. Heart
That's
emoji. Love it. So good. And it's always, it's just great to have Belinda sharing that each and every day. And oftentimes I'll jump off that statement and it goes along with the theme of the show and it's pretty neat. So we really appreciate that. And Dennis joining us from London. Nice to see our boys doing great. Go Wolves, go for sure. They are doing very good. They're going to make a run for it this year. It's a challenging year to do it, though. So many teams are so good. Liette, good morning from Collingwood.
Sometimes that's when people do better, because when you know you're playing a team that's not really good, for some reason, you don't play as good.
No, yeah, for sure.
Like a
You up
mental
your
thing.
game. You up your game because you know that your opponent is just as good. So, no, Sudbury Wolves got what it takes this year. If they can just work on some of the small things. That's all they got to work on. They don't have big things to work on. They got a lot of little small things. Little small.
Little small.
So Vin says, beauty skies this morning for sure. Dennis says, here in London, it's beautiful morning, still no snow. Okay, well, we do have some snow up here, but it might be gone in a few days. I don't know. Jerome, good morning. Time to get at her for sure. And Liette, beautiful. Sunny morning in Collingwood. Not much snow. Monique, good morning, Nick. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Nick. Okay. Lots of shout outs for Nick.
Thank you.
You're always appreciated on the show. There's no doubt about it. Chris, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being with us. Good morning, Brian. Top of the morning, Nickel City Campers. Let the countdown to the weekend begin. For sure, it is Thursday, February the 8th, 2024. Anne-Marie, good morning, everyone. Thanks, smiley emoji as well. So Denise says, blessings, everyone, from Espanola. And Evelyn from YouTube. Does anybody know about the explosion? Oh, yeah, that's right, too. No mining on Highway 17 towards Sturgeon. There is, but not along here. I'm aware of, so yesterday she reported there was an explosion. I said an earthquake or whatever, but a rumbling. So, I have you heard anything, Nick, about that? I haven't as of yet.
I have not heard anything.
No. So we'll have to look into that. If anyone knows anything, let us know.
It was awesome yesterday when I was listening that you had questions, and is it Pierre Parent? Is that
Mike Perrin?
Mike Parent came on and he answered some questions.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's looking
right
into
away.
it.
So that was really cool.
Oh, that's
I was
great
thinking about that just driving, and I was just thinking how the city is just not transparent about everything. And when are you not transparent about everything? Usually when you have to hide something.
Correct. Yeah, you would be transparent if you had nothing to hide, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about that driving. I'm like,
Well, it's true. And again, I think as simple as this is the way that it should be. And because we have the technology today, a website. And on that website, any citizen, whether it be a country, a province, or a city, let's just talk about the city in this case, a website for the city. And on there, you go on and you can see everything that's being done, every penny being spent for everything being done.
Yeah.
And that way citizens can go on there, and sometimes we got some sharp citizens. Sometimes citizens can be just as sharp as a counselor or somebody working at the city, or if not sharper. And
exactly.
They look at it and they go, whoa, wait a minute. If we did this and did that and did the other, if they had all the information in front of them.
But then they're like, you spent $60,000 on a website? I could have done it for $7,000, but that person is friends with so-and-so. You know, it's just all these contracts. When you start quoting the city, I remember being in the business, you always quote them 5 times your price. It's
government, hospitals, education. Yeah. These big institutions kind of thing.
I remember my friend telling me how much they spend with business cards and how much do jobs change. So every time you get a new job, you get new business cards, and they're spending something like $250 a box.
Yeah.
This is just an example. And I was like, man, I could get that done on Vistaprint for $50.
Mm-hmm. You know, we all know that this happens, right? And and at every level of government. So have you heard that that there was fraud committed against the city just recently?
Surprise, surprise.
You know, the Lorraine Street building just on the LaSalle extension part there, they're building for the, as part of the way to help those that are marginalized and experiencing homelessness or maybe opioid addiction. It's a modular red building just as you turn right.
Is that the unit that we were speaking about with
Mike
Zulich, that they were building it?
Well, no, I don't know. It's not him. No, he has other plans, like all the developers
Okay.
trying to think of things, but it was being built, and it's a modular building. They're saving some money. The builder that they eventually went on agreed with to build it in the first place went bankrupt, and so it sat idle for a while. And then they got another builder from down south, and what happened was
We don't have enough builders here.
possibly not. We're not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so Tammy, and good morning, Tammy. Thanks for being on. Nice to see you here. Says it was $1.5 million. So what happened was they got a new builder, and they went to pay the new builder the $1.5 million. But
Right away.
well, whatever. You got to pay them. So they were being paid, but someone intercepted the money. Like a fraudster got in and somehow was able to get the banking information, the emails, all the verification.
Yeah,
emails.
right.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you the truth. So
I know, but
the city was defrauded $1.5 million.
This sounds like corruption.
I don't see. Well, the thing is, they're going to court. The latest is that they're taking legal action. They've asked the banks to reveal all of their information, so the courts have ordered them to come forward with all these things. And so, yeah, well, but anyways, that just happened. That was an interesting one. $1.5 million. And maybe they can say that's why they don't make everything so transparent, right? In some ways, but I think there's still a way to just make everything as transparent
I'd
as
like
possible.
to know, why are you paying someone $1.5 million right off the shot, even if it was like big amounts? Like, anyway, I don't really know how all of that works, but that to me just sounds like a really stupid idea.
Well, there's many units to this building, and there's a lot of costs, upfront costs, right? And so that's probably part of it. You pay so much at the beginning, you pay in the middle, and then you pay at the end. And we're dealing in millions and millions and millions of dollars here. It's to build an apartment complex. It's not cheap, right?
I don't know. Big amounts like that, you would think it's a check you get.
Yeah,
you deposit it in your bank account.
Yeah, it was just like an e-transfer of
Well, you can't
$1.5 million.
Yeah,
something
I don't think
like
you
that.
could e-transfer more than 10,000. I'm sure big corporations could, or they can wire you the money.
Something.
And if they wire you the money, how does a fraudster know? But you know what? Maybe they, they're hacking into computers and just waiting for that money to come, and then they're like, "Whoop!
Yeah,
it's mine."
Happened to an organization that I'm on the board of directors of. It's a not-for-profit housing corporation, and they had that happen to them, but they were able to catch it within like 4 hours. Like they realized something was going on.
No way.
And we lost all access to internet and all kinds of stuff because they got in and changed passwords and stuff.
All right.
So it's a thing. Klaus Schwab of the WEF says that's the next big thing we're going to have is a big internet crash, and hackers are going to hack in and do all kinds of havoc. Maurice, good morning. Thanks for being with us. Just a few more people jumping on. I just wanted to give shout outs to. And Sarah, good morning. Thanks for being here as well.
I've been seeing a lot of that stuff, Aaron, about, the grid shutting down and things like that. And I was just thinking, if the grid shuts down, what would I really want to have? And one of those things is a sauna. I really want a sauna. So I got a good deal on a sauna. So if anybody else is looking for a sauna, if maybe a multiple of us are interested in buying a sauna, we get a better deal.
Yeah, everybody wants a sauna right now. You can message us at sudburynews@gmail.com or message Nick directly and say, yeah, I could. What do these saunas go for?
You
Something
can stay
like
warm. That would be one of the best prepping tool to have is a sauna.
Now, do they go for about $4,000? Is that what do they cost again? Like these ones?
Between 7 and
8, 7 and 10?
12,000.
7 and 12. Okay, sorry. Maybe we can get them for 4 if we could get like 100 people together or something.
If we can get, like 10 people.
Okay.
I can get us all a good deal.
So we got a few more people. Victoria, some of the comments I'm just kind of going over. We appreciate your comments. Continue to have them coming. And okay, so they didn't verify the new account number, the contact.
Well, when you're sending $1.5 million, let's just not verify the account number.
Yeah, Brian says it might
I'm
be an
not sure if that's what happened.
inside job. So like he was saying, like he was suspicious, just like you were. So hard to say. We can
True,
only
Debbie.
speculate. Can only speculate. Yeah, it's gonna cost. Yeah, it's gonna cost more money, and they won't get all the money back either to go to court for this thing. But it's just very, 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 very interesting. Fraud also happened years ago while Laurentian Hospital was being built. Oh, interesting. So these things happen, I guess, with these large scale projects that governments are involved in. Have you heard the federal debacle with the app, the Arrive Can, that they were just paying
No.
companies? It cost, I don't know, hundreds of millions of dollars, and companies
Yeah,
were
for
paid millions and millions of dollars, and they never did anything. Like they were no, like it's a fact. They did
yes.
nothing, and they were paid millions of dollars from the federal government to make this Arrive Can app, which could have been made on Fiverr
Yeah, for $1,000.
or something. You know what I mean? And it ended up
Yeah.
not even working properly. People are at the
Yep.
border, and it's not working, and it wasn't doing its thing. Okay, so yeah, so that's been going on, and our Ward 2 counselor of the city, Michael Vagnini, has been missing now for 11 days, and nobody knows his whereabouts.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, like that's super crazy. The police here, the last update they have. Let me just check in again, just verify if they do have an update since I last looked, but I don't think they do. They've
Yeah,
been up.
and LeBron's just like, yeah, let's all go digital because we're not having a problem with the digital world at all. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, cashless. Can you imagine that? Just you go to your bank one day and it's all taken.
There's no
It's
more
like,
cash.
I don't know
Nope,
where it
sorry.
went. I
It's
can't
gone.
say.
But the world's changing a lot because now with the new like technology, I believe there's one person that inputted a chip, like it's actually been inputted or it's connected to his brain. Technology has not just that machine, but I heard someone's actually inputted like a
E-
chip.
Elon Musk has the technology to
Yeah. So I
implant a
believe a
chip.
student in MTI, I'm not really sure, but I had read an article. I should probably check this, but it's just like, wow,
Mhm.
it's here. It's already happening.
So they're already doing it. Yeah, yeah. So they're gonna put chips in our brains now,
Well,
and
they're going to make it look really cool. And that when right
yeah,
now, if I had the conversation, if I had the chip, I could research in my brain right now and then give you guys all these facts. So the
yeah.
show would be way better. There would be way more improvement, and Nick would know what she's actually talking about.
It's
It wouldn't
similar.
just be my opinion.
It's similar to having your phone and being hooked up to the internet, but it's right in
Yeah,
your brain. So you can
it's
just
right in
think,
your brain.
yeah, what was the answer to that again? Like we do in a lot of arguments or whatever.
You
What
can
was it?
ask in your
Yeah,
own mind.
yeah. You just kind of ask, and you can
Let me
just get.
see if this is a thing.
It is. It's Neuralink. It's called
Yeah.
Neuralink from Elon Musk. Yeah, there's Miles right there. So Elon has a brain chip to control a computer mouse, for example.
Oh,
Kind
yeah.
of thing.
So it has been implanted, his first chip on January 30th.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
a successful implantation of a device in a
mhm.
human for the first time.
A lot of experts and a lot of people in the field say that that's the next phase of our evolution.
Yeah, remember the New World Order or the World Economic Forum? They were talking about how their goal is to hack humans
Yeah, and that's one way you
so
can
that
if they all
you're
have a chip.
hackable.
Yeah, hackable animals, he said, to be exact. That's all
Right.
humans are. So can you imagine
Animals.
if you this gives you a little foray into the minds of some of these people on how they think of human beings. He says all human beings are hackable animals. That's what you've been reduced
And like,
to in his mind.
yeah.
He's Klaus Schwab's right-hand man. So, anyways, yeah, crazy stuff in the future. It's transhumanism. It's where machine and man merge together. It's been talked about. It's been forecasted as what our future is going to be from many experts, and many people are pushing for that. And they're going to push the conveniences, all the benefits as they usually do.
Yeah.
look how convenient, look how great, look how, and then the downsides we all know, and we'll see that as well as the good side. So who knows, again, right? If Counselor Vagnini had Neuralink or whatever, they would see, here's an example of what they could say a benefit would be. They'd be able to find him. He wouldn't be missing right now. They'd just look him up, and they'd find him from his chip that was implanted.
And then if someone actually killed him, they could see the video images of his brain.
Yeah, through his eyes. Like his eyes would be recording a video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And they can go back into the heart. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Very scary. I know Black Mirror is a show on Netflix. It was actually, the franchise was purchased by Netflix, so it's not as cool as it used to be because it's a little bit more spun and political. But before this last season, which the last season wasn't too bad, but again, it's Netflix doing it rather than the third party that invented it. They have an episode of that where your brain records everything. And, and it puts it in an actual practical sense. Like a wife was wondering if her husband cheated on her, and she knows if she can just get to review what is implanted in his brain's memory, she just has to get access to that to see if he's been cheating on her or not, right? Because obviously it would be recorded. And really cool the way it is. So if you haven't had a chance to see Black Mirror, oh my goodness, it takes a lot of these things that we're talking about here and actually puts it in real world scenarios, everyday life, and says, okay, this is what could happen. Update 9 from the Sudbury police on Councillor Vagnini's disappearance. It hasn't changed. It said that as a result of the OPP helicopter ground search conducted, members of the search and rescue in collaboration with North Shore Search and Rescue, they've been looking in the McCharles Lake Road area, Panage Lake Road area, because that's where he was last seen. But nothing's come up. There's been multiple people go out there searching for him, and nothing has come up so far. And they started looking now in the Moonglow area, in the new Moonglow neighborhood, but this was 2 days ago. So we haven't had any updates since then, and there's no specific information to suggest that his vehicle would be in Moonglow, but he used to live in Moonglow as far as I know. And so they thought maybe if he was confused or something, might have went back to his old neighborhood.
Or what? Or did he know something he wasn't supposed to know?
So you're not the only one who's suggesting this. And I think it's normal to do that. And my mind goes there as well.
Well, obviously something happened to him. If he got in an accident, we would have found him. If he did a drug overdose, we would have found him. Like if he did it, I feel like we would have found him. When I'm assuming in most cases, when you can't find someone, it's because they don't want to be found.
Possibly. Yeah. And was he planning this? So the whole thing is, and that someone had a question the other day on a show. They said that I said that he discharged himself from the hospital, but that's untrue. And so, well, I just want to say, if this person's watching, respectfully, I said that that's what he said. I didn't say that's what happened. So he told the people across the street from the hospital, he went to the rally, the Freedom Rally that they have each and every Saturday.
Okay.
They were just closing up. They were just kind of getting packed up, ready to go. And here comes Michael Vagnini. And he's like, hey, can I buy a Canada flag from you guys? And they're like, well, we're not selling any, but we can give you one. And he's like, oh, cool. Because I want to put it with the fire truck I'm looking at donating to the Beaver Lake Fire Hall. And which is a little bit questionable, talking with Mike Padon later, that there's a process to go through with buying anything like that, like a fire truck that's going to be used for city services. You can't just really go out and buy one and give it to, like, there has to be a protocol it goes through.
But maybe he was in the middle of the protocol and he just used those words.
Sure. Exactly. Right. So he shared on his Facebook, and anyone can go look at it, where he says, I'm purchasing a fire truck and whatever. And so you can take from that whatever you want, whether that was a sign showing that he was starting to think a little bit interestingly or not. A lot of people say, and even Miles, who's on the show quite a bit here and today, said he was watching Michael the last the last while in city council meetings, he wasn't present. He was always on Zoom, and he just didn't seem right. Like he didn't seem all to be present all the time, right? So, so that's, we're not sure what state of mind he was in, but we do know what he said, what he did in the last moments before he went missing, because the people at the rally were talking to him, and he said, "Hey, can you guys take a picture of me? Can you interview me and put it up on Facebook?" And they said, "Well, just use your phone." And he said, "I don't have a phone. The hospital broke it." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, I just self-discharged from the hospital." And he said that he got a bad blood transfusion that he was a little bit upset about. And so he because he has diabetes or whatever, and somehow, or whatever, this was what he said. And so he discharged himself. They broke his phone and broke his computer, and he can't use it. So that's what he said. I'm not saying that's what happened.
He said they broke my phone and computer.
That's what he said. Yes. So
This sounds so weird.
Well, is that what really happened, or is that something that he might not have been thinking clearly or something too, right?
Right.
It could be either.
Or maybe someone else broke his phone and computer.
Now,
but he can't really state it.
This is the thing.
Maybe he's being attacked and he's terrified, and there's a group of people that have been after him for whatever. These days, you just don't know.
He didn't say anything to that at all.
No.
Like he didn't allude to any of that. Like he didn't seem like he was like, "Guys, you need to film me" or something, So then the press release comes out, and it's someone in his family who says, "Okay, everyone who's trying to contact him by phone, don't bother. I have his phone."
What?
Yeah, but this whole interaction with the people at the rally never got out into the public. That wasn't part of any press release. So Monique, who watches the show faithfully every day, she's on now.
Yeah,
she's said after the show, can we talk? I was talking to him just before he went missing, and I want to let you know some of the things he said. And so that's what she did. We called each other. We had a good chat, and that's what she said that he said. And he said, "Can I get a picture?" And there's a picture with him, and that's been out in the media with him with the Canadian flag. And he's got an Erie Otters shirt on. I'm not sure why he had an Erie Otters shirt, not a Sudbury Wolves, but that's just neither here nor there, right? But he had an Erie Otters shirt on, and he asked everyone, "Can you touch my jersey? Because it'll give me good luck. I'm going to a nephew's hockey game, and I want it to give him good luck or something." So he said that. And then bylaw officers came. So some bylaw officers came, and then he started talking with them. And Monique took a video, which she sent me, which she said she didn't give me permission to share. So if she ever does, I'll share it with everybody, and maybe it'll be shared at some point. From a distance, he's just chatting with the two bylaw officers. But I guess the reason why they were there is because there's some people, a homeless encampment there at the parking lot or going into the bush. And the city's been pushing snow in that direction to kind of push them out, to get rid of the people. And so he was discussing this. He said, "That's kind of not appropriate. Can we do anything else?" He told the people there that he was at odds with that. He didn't agree with that solution. And then also they're putting up gates too.
Yeah, I heard that yesterday.
Yeah, so that's kind of
some weird stuff happening there.
Something's going on in that area, and I think Councillor Vagnini was kind of questioning what's going on, or just at least talking to the bylaw officers. So technically, the last people he spoke with were the two bylaw officers.
Wow.
I don't hear anything in the media of what these bylaw officers said. Like, why isn't that public? Like, what was he saying to the bylaw officers? Why aren't they being spoken to?
Why wouldn't the news say that he was at a rally and talked to people?
They did.
Like, they did?
The news said very simply, Michael Vagnini attended the Freedom Rally, which he did not. He didn't attend the Freedom Rally. No, he could have attended it if he wanted to, but that's not the fact. He went there.
That's just interesting that they twisted that.
Well, right. So if you say he attended it, and people can say, "Oh, okay, well, maybe he was going with one of those. He was going like
right
because he was attending the Freedom Rally." But to me, it just seemed like he just would be a man of the people, and he's open to everybody, like I would be. I wouldn't, demean one group over another for any reason.
Right.
And it seemed like he was the same. Anyways, so
Whoa.
he went there
What a
after the
conspiracy.
well, anyway, well, again, if you don't give facts, and that's why I told Mike Pradon, even said, "Can I talk to you after the show?" He called me, I called him, one or the other, and we spoke about it. He goes, "I never knew this information. This information hasn't been related to council." I said, "I know. I don't know why. You would think."
It looks like they don't know a lot of things. They didn't know about this parking problem either.
Just something. So
Something is going on.
why don't we know what he said to the bylaw officers? What was that discussion about, at least? You would think that someone's going missing almost for 12 days now. If he
His
happens
truck is also missing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just weird.
I know. And Mike Pradon was saying you can actually ping the truck to find out where he is. Like, you can actually use technology
Okay.
to
So
ping
where is it?
Well, he said it can only work if it's on, if the truck is running. So let's say it's not running, it won't work. And because maybe, he went missing for a day or two, people aren't going to get all worried about it. If someone just wants to take off and go to a relative's place or a friend, they're not going to really. So, but if they would have at first right away started pinging, they would have at least known, a more recent whereabouts rather than the McCharles Lake Road area.
And
That's
what
where
is
he
his
was
family
last seen.
saying? Are they saying he had any type of like how his mental state? Was he off? Was something weird happening?
Yeah, we know the family was interested, just, close family and extended family. They were all kind of calling each other, and some even called Monique here on the show and asked her what was said and whatever. And they made some comments that I'm not sure if I could even share on the show, because she didn't really she gave me the permission to share certain things, but just said, some other things. He just doesn't want to kind of get involved. And I can appreciate that.
Wow.
But I think one of them made a comment like, "Oh, he'll never be found." Like that early on, like that was the day after or something.
So someone just said, Denise said, did they even do, haven't heard anything like that. Okay, someone had mentioned something about it. They found his truck, but not his plates. But I thought I
Really?
saw something. No,
Okay.
I'm probably.
Well, if that's not in
I
the
saw
news
this in the
anyway.
comments.
Okay, if that's the case, it's not public knowledge. So, if that actually happened.
Oh,
again,
no, never mind.
police investigations don't always tell everything to the public, and there's reasons for that, and probably good
No,
reasons a lot of times.
rumor has it, I think.
Okay. Well, again, rumors. So when you don't have facts, and that's the whole thing with transparency we started talking about in the first place with the city. When you don't have transparency, you leave room for speculation and people to go, fill in the blanks kind of thing. Well, if it's, how do I know it's
So his family legit said like he's not going to be found?
one of them, an extended family. Yeah. One of the extended
like,
family.
why would you say that?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. So there's all kinds of things. If you gather all the information together, if you were a really good investigator and you really wanted to find out.
And you had the time, this was your job.
Yeah. So I know they're not really overturning all of the rocks they possibly can. And then I wonder why that is with such a high profile person. Like, this is going to reflect on the city's police force, this whole incident. It will reflect on city council and the mayor as well. It will. So that's what I was saying to Mike. This is a sensitive thing. This is going to, there's going to be a lot of people here. This should be done right. It's high profile, right? Another thing too, someone mentioned in Toronto, it's not really making headlines anywhere outside of Sudbury, which I also think is interesting, right? Like, it's not really on any national news or provincial news.
No.
You think if a Toronto city councillor was missing for 12 days, you'd hear that.
Why wouldn't it make the news?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So someone said, I haven't heard anything about it from a distance in Canada, kind of thing. And I can't watch every news channel all the time. I got to work and I do the show and I'm doing my master's and I'm busy doing other things. I can't just constantly be watching every news there is. So that's what I heard from a listener.
If anybody has information, you send it to Aaron. Be part of the show. Be part of the conversation.
SudburyNews@gmail.com. It's where you can send whatever you have. And I know I've gotten other stories from people that just started to get buried. I said, I got to share this on the show. So I apologize for anyone who's ever shared anything with me, whether it be a video, whether it be some information, and I wasn't able to share it. I do apologize. I have very little time to prepare for the show. I wish I had more time. If this was my full-time gig, I'd be in heaven. I would be in heaven if this was full-time for me. But it is what it is. It's the wrong industry to be getting into right now, which is media.
It's true.
Like, it's just taken a beating so mainstream media are what's that? Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
They're BS artists.
Yes.
If
you want to donate to Sudbury News, you could send an e-transfer to sudburynews@gmail.com.
Yes, thank you for the plug, for sure.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And there have been people who have done that, and I so much appreciate it. And it even shocks me when somebody does. I'm like so grateful for
We've talked about being transparent and just showcasing all the investment that went into Sudbury News and the monthly membership that Aaron has to do to even have this little gig. There's some cost to that. And so if you want to send an e-transfer to sudburynews@gmail.com, it will be
welcome,
greatly appreciated.
And
yes, very welcomed.
So I made a little ticker thing to go on the bottom.
I love it
too. So
there you go, perfect.
It just says that, so I don't have to pedal and beg or whatever the terminology is or whatever.
I'm sure
don't feel
Aaron's wife would really, really, really appreciate the support, guys.
Yeah, maybe I could get her on and she could do a little plug for that, right?
Yeah, how she's
funny.
Like, this is another idea, Aaron, but this has been going on. How long have you been doing the show now?
Since 2017, I had Sudbury Sports Talk. And then
true.
In 2022, May, we launched Sudbury News Talk.
Yeah.
So sports is a smaller part of it now, a very small part, but yeah. And I really like this platform because what was happening with Sudbury Sports Talk was we started getting into more because the arena was the hot topic at that time. It still is.
Yeah.
But that's when we're voting on it and all kinds of things, and so it was getting, even though it was sports related, we were starting to talk more about city politics and stuff. And so I just thought, you know what, it's probably the right next step for the show. But yeah, 2017, I've been waking up, early in the morning, earlier than I normally would, to do the hour-long show every weekday morning between 7:30 and 8:30. And I'm still doing it now. And it's all volunteer. And we went through some hardships and stuff. Like I was doing it from my office at work. And then someone complained about some of the content. And so they said, well, sorry, even though we said you can do it from your office at work, you just can't.
There's no freedom of speech anymore in Canada. This is a legit thing. Like we are not allowed to do certain things because our opinions matter and opinions may hurt people's feelings. It's just, that's where we're at. Like we're not in a free country. It is unfortunate, but
well, watch this. I got a little video that speaks to that. I wanted to share this today and I was hoping to share the whole thing, but I think just a little bit of it will also suffice about the kind of state of the world we're in and maybe why. It's a little incident that happened in the United States, but listen into this.
Here's hopefully a short synopsis of something that happened this week that I still don't understand. In office space near a client, a young woman was meeting with her boss. She was, by my estimation, in her late 20s. The boss, also a woman, was giving her feedback and reviewing edits she had made on something that this young woman wrote. They had been speaking in low tones, but their volume got louder toward the end of the conversation because the young woman was getting agitated about a particular edit. So she wrote some article. She's getting edits from her boss. She doesn't like this one edit. This happens all the time in this world. The particular edit was correcting the spelling of hamster to hamster. Now, I'm going to give you to read the spelling. She spelled it, the employee spelled it HAMPSTER. Now, that is not what the word is, obviously. It's hamster, Hamster.
Yes.
Okay. So she spelled it hamster, like a hamper where you throw your clothes.
Yeah.
Right. But hamster, meaning the animal, there's no P in there. Okay. Pretty basic.
Right. So she spelled it wrong and somebody corrected her.
Right.
And she's hacked off about it.
She had used the phrase like spinning in a hamster wheel in the draft. And it was like they were talking about it being like an op-ed or a speech or something. So spinning in a hamster wheel, Hampster. So the boss is saying, hey, we got to change that to Hamster. The young woman kept saying, I don't know why you corrected this because I spell it with a P in it. And the boss said calmly, but that's not how the word is spelled. There is no P in hamster. And the young woman replied, but you don't know that. I learned to spell it with a P, and that's how I spell it. The boss, remaining very calm and professional, let's go to dictionary.com and look it up together. Now, again,
all right,
as the writer points out, this is a woman in her late 20s, not a fifth grader. The young woman insists she doesn't need to look it up because it's fine to spell it with a P because that's how she wanted to spell it.
Okay.
The boss says, let's look over the rest of this piece so I can explain the rest of my edits. They do, and I can see the young woman is fighting back tears. The boss is calm, cool, and handles this with professionalism and empathy. The boss says, I know edits can be difficult to go over sometimes, especially when you're working on new kinds of things as you grow in your career. But it's a necessary process and makes us all better at what we do. Can't handle it better than that, right? You can't handle this craziness better than that.
Yeah.
The boss gets up from the table and goes to her office, and the young woman can barely hold it together. She moves to another table.
Is there a crying room in this workspace?
That's the problem.
I hope there is.
Apparently there was not.
Oh, no.
Because she goes to another table in the common workspace area, drops all her stuff loudly on the tabletop, and starts texting. A minute later, her phone rings. It was her mom.
So she called her mom.
She had texted her mom to call her because it was urgent, and I'm sure her mother might have thought, I don't know, she's in the ER or something.
Yeah, so it goes on to say that the mom called back and pretty much agreed with everything the daughter was. How dare she do that to you or whatever? You should you should go to your boss's boss and make a complaint. And it just what do you get from that? What's going on in our world a lot? Just that whole
everybody
scenario?
believes in their own truth. It's their own truth. I was just talking about this. Someone had told me that they were at this conference or this meeting, and they told everybody to close their eyes and point where north is. And everyone was pointing in a completely different direction. And he says, regardless of how you feel, there's only one north. You can't change the truth. But in our society today, we're changing the truth. For me, though, the north is this way. This is my north. No, honey, that's not a thing. But now we need to just allow people to spell however they want, it looks like.
Yeah. And again, that just shows, and they said the age of the person, and maybe it's somewhat age related, and maybe it has to do with, what we've been teaching for the last 20 years or so, in our education system, that it's just mind blowing that, like you said, north is north, south is south. But if someone comes in and says, no, I want north to be over here. Where are we at in
I
our
need to
society
just accept this.
Yeah. It's just until it comes time where it's life or death, and it has to come down to the actual, if you have a compass and you're alone in the forest, then you don't want to be just making up the directions, whatever you want to be the situation at the time. You want north to be north and south to be south. Yeah. Right. So again, like when it really comes down to it. Now, time is time. And no matter how much I want the show to continue to go on today, the clock tells me that it's a certain time and we have to end the show. Yeah. So it's the same thing. Like I wish I could say, yeah, no, it's still 7:30. Yeah. can continue just talking all day, but unfortunately we can't. So thanks, Nick. I don't know. What are you doing tomorrow morning? Are you also available?
I'll be here
no?
tomorrow morning.
Well, awesome. I know a lot of our listeners and viewers, most of them, if not all of them, are looking forward to that. So I really appreciate that. So thanks for being with us today. Great conversation.
Thanks for having me. Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
Awesome conversation. Thanks everyone for commenting, and thanks to CKLU, our campus community radio station, for having us on each and every weekday morning and having a conversation with you. Stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU 96.7 FM. Have a great Thursday, everyone. We'll be back, God willing, same place, same time, and all the same platforms tomorrow morning. So, ciao.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.